Hey everyone who's decided to click on this video, click on this channel, and see what's going on. My name is Sam, and welcome to my channel, Midlifts 34. I'm creating this channel to document a little bit about my journey back into strength training and to shed a new light on the true average person's journey into strength and journey into fitness. I'm not saying fitness as in I'm going to be somebody that will give the best advice or the most in shape person. I am not. Or the strongest person. I am not. And that's the point. I have such a passion for fitness and strength sport that I decided to create a more real version of what you see online. And this channel is going to really revolve around my journey as a person navigating throughout the modern day strength and fitness industry. I'm not an industry professional. I'm not a licensed trainer, nutritionist, athlete. I've never been pro in anything. Where I come in is the person that works a 8 to 10 hour day, gets off of work and goes lifts, and I might only have an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if I get lucky, before I have other obligations. I currently coach lacrosse. I have a family to deal with. I have my own personal life to deal with outside of the gym. And I am hoping to show other people that you can still do what you love if it's in this space of fitness and strength, while balancing your true life. The main point that I made this channel and I'm making this video and my future videos is to show you don't need to shut down your life to get some kind of progress. I'm not going pro in anything anytime soon. That sure would be nice, but I'm not. I have a job, I have a career, and I'm doing the best I can. The best thing I can do with this channel is provide a look into somebody who is maybe watched World's Strongest Man. Said, oh, that looks fun, but I'm not sure if I have the time to learn how to do that. I want them to come and see what I do and realize that it is possible. Then that's the whole point of my personal strength and fitness journey, that I feel like I am just starting. And the reason I say feel like is I am, but I am not a beginner. A little background about myself. I'm in my mid-20s. My entire life I played sports. My first sport ever, I played soccer when I was about 4 years old. I stopped playing that when I was about 4 years old. I didn't like it. I played baseball, basketball, football. What else? I played everything under the sun. And in lacrosse. Lacrosse is my passion. It was my passion for 13 years. I still love it. I played it into the MCLA level in college, and I still coach lacrosse, youth lacrosse. So the reason I say my beginning of my fitness journey is it truly feels like a beginning. Unlike a lot of people nowadays that get started and are possibly world-class lifters at 17 years old, I first touched a barbell when I was maybe 14, doing my off-season training in lacrosse when I was a freshman in high school. And we did a local CrossFit gym, and I fell in love with the CrossFit and with just strength training in general. It was one thing that I felt like I was pretty good at for the first time in my life. Even though I played all these sports, I was never the number one pick. I was always a bigger guy, bigger kid. I wasn't shooting the best baskets in basketball. I was a very subpar football player. I couldn't hit a baseball to save my life. In lacrosse, I was an okay goalie. In college, switched to face-offs, and I was a very okay face-off guy. But when I was 14 years old and I realized, hey, I can move a good amount of weight, I like this. And I stuck with it. I did that for about 4 years, off-season training. And then when I got to college, I played at the MCLA level, as I mentioned. We had to make our own training, and that was able to teach me how to kind of program between my own training ideas, input with friends who were studying personal training or athletic training or physiology, kinesiology in college. I was able to get into pretty decent shape when I was in college. And then I left college. I graduated. I moved down to Florida. Now, don't get me wrong. I loved it. I loved living in Florida. It was beautiful. Who won't love 80-degree days for 300 days out of the year? Spectacular. But I stopped lifting. I stopped working out more than maybe 1 or 2 days a week where I would go to the gym, load up a barbell as heavy as possible, and back squat for 1 or 2 reps at a max and be like, okay, I can still do this and make myself feel better. I did that, and I left Florida. I left Florida for job reasons. Again, I'm an average person. I work a job. And after I left Florida and I moved back up north to Indiana, I started getting involved with coaching again, and I didn't have much time for the gym. And eventually, after my first season of being a coach at the high school level, I realized I need to take myself more serious. So I stopped coaching high school lacrosse. I still coached travel ball, but I stopped coaching in the spring because I didn't have the time. I started lifting again. Started going to a CrossFit gym again because that's where I always felt at home with people that were encouraging of getting into fitness. And the first year I was there, I felt good. I got a lot of my strength back that I had in college. And then I decided to get more into shape. I cut down a bunch of weight. I felt great. Gained back a bunch of weight because I got lazy. And that's where we lead into now. I've been running an Instagram page on the same name as this, midlifts_34, for about a couple months now, probably a year, I'm not quite sure. I just post on and off, just pure lifting videos, and I decided to take it a step further. I want to show other people that you can pursue a passion that other people take as a job. There's phenomenal musicians out there that work 12 hours a day. There is phenomenal artists that work 12 hours a day, get home, and they animate their own cartoon. I see them here on YouTube almost daily. And then I thought to myself, while I'm posting my videos on Instagram, why does this not exist in the strength space? You have guys like Sam Solik, college student, got his pro card, phenomenal physique. He's an outlier. Because most of these people, sure, they might work some kind of a job, but they are able to still set aside a majority of their hours a week to training, whatever discipline it is. And I respect that. Most people don't. And that's why I want to shed a different light on with my channel, with my input. I want to show other people that, like me, and possibly you. You get off, it might be 3 o'clock, you'll say you get off 5. Oh, I don't want to go to the gym. I'd rather go home. It's not an uncommon thing, and that's something I deal with a lot. I dealt with that today. Again, I worked all day today. About 3:30, I didn't want to go to the gym. I actually didn't because it was a planned rest day, and that's why I'm recording this video right now. Anyway, I want people to look at me and see me as a source of not inspiration. I'm not an inspirational person. I didn't come up from the roughest upbringing. I didn't come back from some kind of extreme injury or massive overcoming in my life. That's why this is called mid. Mid means average. I'm the average guy. I work an average job. I have very average strength. And that's what's very important with this. With these videos, I'm going to be posting little breakdowns about my workouts. I work with a coach. A couple videos here and there about my lifting, my sets and workouts. And then probably just some breakdowns of what I eat. Again, I'm not a nutritionist. You don't follow what I eat. I eat like crap most days. I try to eat better, but again, average guy, I eat like crap most days. So the important thing that I want anyone who's watching this and has stuck through my 10 minutes of rambling to take away from this is follow along if you want to see true average, true real life experiences in the strength and fitness space. And exactly how average am I? That's a great question that I ask myself all the time. I leave the gym from a very heavy session, from a great day. Maybe I hit a new PR. Maybe I did something I've never done before. Oh, I'm the strongest guy ever. I'm the best. I'm not. I'm extraordinarily average. It exactly how I'm 6'2", taller than average. Sure, I weigh about 250 pounds. That's fairly big, and at 250, I'm maybe squatting 420, 430 on a good day, benching, God, 245, 250 if I get lucky, and I train bench. I'm deadlifting 515, 520 on a great day. I can't run a mile without having an asthma attack. I can't do a pull up. Never done a pull up in my life. Probably string together 12 good push ups if I'm really pushing. Um, that's how average I am. You know, people look at fitness influencers and fitness personalities and see this guy who's 195 pounds squatting 550 for reps. Phenomenal. That's world class strength. But the people watching them might be 195 pounds. They're only squatting 225. Which again, if you can squat 225, good on you. That's more than your body weight. But they see that, they compare themselves, they get let down, they give up. I want to be the opposite of that. I want somebody to see what I do, be like, that's not that crazy. I think I could do that. My biggest goal with this is to always stay humble and to always show the unadulterated side of what I believe to be fitness and strength. If by God's grace this channel blows up and I no longer have to work my 8 to 5 job, if I no longer come home from work exhausted, tired, dirty, sore back, and I can just lift and make videos all day, that'll be phenomenal. But I hope to never get away from that. I don't want to be somebody that forgets where they came from. Because I remember I was probably 215 pounds, 14 years old, over 10 years ago, going to the gym for the first time, touching a barbell, and squatting 95 pounds, and that was my max. I remember being that kid. I remember being 21 years old in college, being an athlete, having a hand injury that I couldn't bench press for almost a year. And the first time I hit 135 pound bench press after that, I remember being through the roof, and again, I'm in my 20s. I hit a 500-pound deadlift not too long ago, and I'm still riding that high to this day. I never want to get away from the true humble beginnings that is most people's reason to better themselves. And maybe your betterment isn't weightlifting. This channel is going to be about weightlifting, but maybe your betterment is about running. Maybe you want to hike more. Maybe you want to be a better cyclist, mountain biker. I love mountain biking. I have a mountain bike. I hope to show people that it's never too late to pursue something that you want to do. And if what you want to do seems out there, it's not. Go after it. I almost gave up completely on lifting 2 years ago. I was sore, I was tired, I was extremely out of shape. I'm still fairly out of shape. And I almost just gave up because I sat on YouTube one night and I'm watching a 20-year-old deadlift 700 pounds for reps. And I almost just gave up right then and there. And then I realized, why? Why am I letting this fake internet guy best me? I decided then to better myself, and over the last year or so, decided I want to help other people better themselves. So, again, thanks for listening to my ramblings. If you stuck around this long, I know I went about 15 minutes here. They aren't going to be as long, probably again. But thanks for sticking around. Enjoy the journey that you're going on with me if you decide to go on this journey with me. If not, this channel is going to be a video diary for myself that hopefully I can show my kids, maybe my grandkids, if YouTube is still around in 60 years, that I decided to do something new. And I hope they're proud, I'm proud, and anyone who else sees this is proud and decides to get a little something from it. Thanks for coming along this, and we'll see how this goes and ride this train together. Thank you.